Hi everybody, it's Honest John here. The COVID-19 crisis has highlighted a huge problem with globalization and with our economy. The fact that we depend on China for critical supplies is unsustainable. We should be manufacturing our own medical equipment, protective equipment, testing supplies right here in the United States. And not just that, we shouldn't be depending on China or anyone else for our cell phones, computers, automobile parts, or any other vital equipment. There's nothing wrong with global trade, but it has to be done right. It should be done in a way that benefits everyone involved, especially workers, both here and there. The emphasis on cheap labor has to end. Trump's trade war did nothing to address the real problems in our trade relationship with China. Jobs were lost here in the U.S., good jobs. And then they were exported to China and they became bad jobs. They became low-paying jobs as workers were exploited. Not just by the Chinese, but by us. When we go to Walmart and we buy a cheap phone or a cheap computer, we are contributing to the sweatshop conditions that exist in other countries. So even though millionaires and billionaires have done really well, workers have suffered on both sides of the ocean. When we rebuild our devastated economy, we have to take a much different approach. Now, it was thought that our economic involvement with China and other countries would somehow influence them to become more democratic. That they would treat their people better. Instead, they have become even more authoritarian. For example, China is rounding up Uyghur Muslims and putting them in concentration camps and cracking down on human rights in Hong Kong. That was not what we intended for when we started doing business with them. And the working conditions and wages here in America have stagnated. Instead of lifting up workers in other countries, we are exploiting workers here. So as we rebuild our shattered economy, we must do it from the bottom up. Our lowest paid workers must make a living wage. People should not have to work 2 and 3 jobs just to make ends meet. And we must demand that workers in any country that we do business with receive an equivalent wage, a wage that they can live on. We must end sweatshops. And we must simply refuse to do business with human rights violators. We can't just hope that other countries adopt the values of human rights and dignity and workers' rights. We must demand that they do. Thanks for listening.